Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining me today for this very valuable webinar class on understanding and treating nerve pain conditions. So we're going to, from the perspective of Ayurveda, of course. So we're going to talk mostly about addressing neuropathy, sciatica, and nerve-related headaches. Now, first of all, we have to understand, what is supporting our nervous system. We're talking about addressing or supporting the nervous system. So there's different types of nerve pain, and we're going to cover that. And we're going to cover the many causes of nerve pain. And we're going to cover home remedies that you can do to help improve your nerve pain. But first, we need to understand what's supporting the nervous system. According to Ayurveda, there are 7 tissues in the body. Rasa, Rakta, which is the fluid of your body. Rasa, Rakta, the blood. Mamsa, Meda, your muscles. Then, the blood feeds the muscles. And then any excess that's not used in your muscle metabolism is stored in your Meda, your fat tissue. And then we have A.H.P, Meja. A.H.P is the bones. And then finally is the 6th tissue is the nerve. So it's the 6th tissue. The 7th tissue, of course, is the reproductive system. And as per Ayurveda, each tissue feeds and supports the next tissue. So Meja, or your nervous system, Meja Vayusutra, in Ayurveda, the nerve system or nerve tissue, Meja Datsu, is supported by the bones, the fat, the muscle, and all of these subsequent tissues have to be sufficient to support the nervous system. So, for example, if you're low on fat, say you're on a low-fat diet because your cholesterol is too high, you think fat's going to make you fat, so you've been restricting the fat. Well, your nervous system requires fat. We know that every cell has a membrane, and the nerves have a myelin sheath, like a membrane covering it. And this membrane or myelin sheath is made of fat tissue. So when you're on a low-fat diet, you can see signs of low-fat diet. Skin becomes thin. You become overly sensitive to sounds and touch. And we can assume at that point that the nerve cells themselves, including, all your cells in the body, have a thinner membrane. And this creates sensitivity. And this is creating the environment for nerve pain. Just like when we have in the mountains, we have a dry in the mountains. The dryness isn't per se making the fire, but the dry environment is creating the environment for the fire. So a low-fat diet or an unnutritional diet, we could even say this is the first and major cause of nerve aggravation, nerve imbalance, ultimately leading to nerve pain, is depletion of fat, which is the most common, depletion of other nutrients we could say that build bones. We could say in scientific nutritional science terms, we could magnesium, calcium, trace minerals, B vitamins. So people who do like grain-free diet, I don't have any grains, often they're short in B vitamins, and these B vitamins support your nervous system. So these type of deficiencies of minerals, vitamins, and fat are creating the environment for an unhealthy, agitated nervous system that leads to nerve pain. So this is one of the major causes of nerve pain, depletion, particularly low-fat diet. Now, of course, if you have high blood sugar, as in a diabetic, this also creates nerve pain. And we know this is a major cause of neuropathy is diabetic neuropathy. So that is one separate cause. And if you want to address that neuropathy, you have to address the blood sugar and the pancreas function and the insulin levels and manage the blood sugar first. So if you have neuropathy from high blood sugar, you need to manage the blood sugar. That's another subject, which I have videos and talks on managing your blood sugar. So we're going to set that aside and talk about other causes of nerve pain. And remember, we're talking first about treating the nervous system. This type of nerve pain is due to vata imbalance. Vata means air, and the qualities of air are dry, light, rough, active, mobile. And so we have to balance vata, we have to support the nervous system, and we have to reduce the pain. These three areas of treatment, because we know vata is behind this pain. Nerves are supported by vata, is the dominant dosha behind your nerves and your bones. And the dominant dosha behind pain is also vata. So we know when there's nerve pain, there's vata imbalance. So vata must be balanced. So having high vata condition leads to nerve pain. So, and other things, anxiety, degenerative bones, nerve pain, they often can come together. So what imbalances vata? A depletion, skipping meals, having salads, having smoothies, is not having enough fat, just like we just said. And also over-exercising, burning too much calories, being underweight, which can create a type of depletion as well. Cold foods increase vata and aggravate the nervous system. If you take a cold shower or the cold air conditioner hits you, you tremble. Your nerves don't like to be cold. They like to be warm. So cold foods, cold drinks, cold atmosphere, cold weather aggravates your nervous system. And also rough and dry things, dry crackers, dry chips, dry nuts can lead to dry bowel movements, dry colon, constipation, and this type of autotoxicity from constipation can also contribute to nerve pain created from the toxins that are now in your nerves from years of being constipated, simply due to being too dry, particularly in the colon. So other things that aggravate the nervous system, high vata, low fat diet, nutritional problems, but also stimulants. Coffee, chocolate, cacao is a stimulant, and it aggravates the nervous system, and it's inflammatory. I know it has magnesium and it's been sold well, but cacao is an inflammatory substance, not recommended for anybody with sciatica, nerve pain, or even nerve-related headaches. And then there's once the pain is there are, of course, different types of pain in Ayurveda. There's a pitta version, which has heat and burning to it. So this usually means vata's pushing pitta. So there's dry qualities of vata, and along with heat and burning sensation. So if a person has sharp pain that moves about the body, then this is more vata. But if they have pain that's burning and hot, then there's another element, and that's pitta. And that can be aggravated by hot foods, spicy foods, chili pepper, cayenne pepper, nightshades, tomatoes, eggplant, and bell pepper, and even sour substances. So there are really more than one type, but there's two major types of nerve pain: vata dominant and vata pitta. So pitta type, you have some burning sensation as well. Pain plus burning. So there's two classifications that we're addressing here. And particularly with the burning sensation, there's inflammation. So you have to avoid inflammatory foods. And many of these inflammatory foods are also stimulating: coffee, chocolate, white sugar, and nightshades aren't stimulating, but they would be left out. So you'd want to eliminate your coffee. I know most people think, hey, I just had 1 cup of coffee, but that 1 cup is still inflammatory. You have a nerve condition. You have to remember, if you have nerve pain or sciatica, or neuropathy, or any type of tingling, numbness, those are early signs of nerve issues. Tingling on the fingers, numbness, beginning of neuropathy. Even just very cold hands and feet. This is a poor circulation. And even poor circulation can contribute to nerve pain in the extremities, where the blood is not reaching the hands, the feet, and the head. And there can be, this can be a contributing factor. So you can see there's many factors. A person could have poor circulation. They could have wrong diet, cold foods, dry foods, stimulating foods, coffee, chocolate, and they're wondering why they have nerve pain. and they're on a low-fat diet, so they don't have the fat to protect their nerve cells. So this is how people cause these problems or imbalance, derangement, so to speak, of your nervous system. So all of these causes have to be identified, and that's per individual, and have to be removed before there's any treatment. You can't expect to treat any condition until you've removed the cause. I know people would love to just take my herbs, get it over with. You know, I've treated a lot of cases of neuropathy and sciatica and been very successful. Even diabetic neuropathy, very successful. So it's very treatable and curable, but the people need to remove these causes first. Other cause that people don't realize, and it's the wrong foods. Too much beans always aggravate nervous system. So if we have somebody with sciatica and neuropathy, we remove most beans, and we'd rather do fish, oily fish, and dark chicken meat because we want more fat. And beans are dry and rough, and they aggravate all nerve conditions. So other causes are lack of sleep. Poor sleep, staying up too late, not sleeping enough, overwork, stress, anxiety. Combine that with coffee, stimulants, wrong diet, skipping meals, and you can see how people can end up with nerve issues. And it's usually just not the nerve pain. That's just the part they're complaining about. There's often anxiety, nervousness, maybe tremors, poor sleep involved as well. And joint pain. A lot of times we have inflammation in the joints, we have inflammation in the nerves, and they're going together, and we have to treat both at the same time. So the diet has to be vata balancing, which is warm, nurturing, easy to digest, soft foods with very little beans, except maybe mung bean. And if you have mung bean, a lot of oil has to be added. Usually the diet, we increase the fat, we increase the amount of ghee, increase the amount of oil, more avocados, more olives, more fat in the diet. And of course, there's other home remedies as well. So the diet is still per individual, but generally with neuropathy, we're increasing the level of fat unless there's obesity, and then we don't. Now, what can you do at home? You can, of course, improve your diet. 2, oil massage is very good for nerve pain. The best oil being just sesame oil. You know, sesame oil, warm on the body, is very good for nerve pain. Now, there are specialized oils which we use for the nerves. This one is for nerve pain, mahanarana oil, and this is for it says for muscles and joints, but this works very good for nerve pain when massaged on the whole body. And we have another one, ashwaganda bala. Bala means strong. This is good for the nerves and also can be massaged on the whole body. So oil, not only increasing the oil or fat in the diet, but oil massage helps. Staying away from cold environments, air conditioners, cold areas also helps. Relaxing more, sleeping more, exercising less, and resting more. Not doing strenuous exercise, but doing more relaxing exercise, more like yoga, restorative yoga, going to bed on time, eating on time, keeping the digestion good, and not allowing yourself to be constipated, because this can also contribute to your nerve pain. So those are the home remedies you could do to improve your nerve pain. So first, you should identify the causes, which we covered a lot. That's like investigative work. Then we eliminate these causes. You know, coffee, chocolate, overstimulation, wrong diet, too many beans, inflammatory foods, etc. Change the diet. Then, you know, get some oil massage, get some warm salt baths, eat more warm food with ginger and other warming herbs. These will all help to some degree, but generally won't reverse the condition. By getting rid of these stimulants, sleeping better, generally you won't make it worse. It will at least stabilize. And then we have plenty of herbs that work for nerve pain with, you know, so much. So we have a formula called nerve pain formula. There we go. So nerve pain formula is working with herbs that balance, that help both the nervous system. In this case, we're using ashwaganda. There we go. Now it's focusing there. There we go. See, nerve pain formula. 1 or 2 teaspoons in a quarter cup of warm milk. Ashwagandha, of course, is the best herb for the nervous system. Dashamool, as it means 10 roots. This is very nutritious and anti-inflammatory and good for balancing vata. Yogaraj Gugulu, which is, a formula in itself that's used for joint pain, but also helps with nerve pain. Kaunch, this is used for Parkinson's and other neurological issues. And Nirgundi, which is an analgesic herb for pain. And tagar, which is both a mild sedative and used for pain. So 2 analgesic herbs that are used for pain, very vata balancing, very supportive of the nervous system. Very effective formula. We have another one here just called neuropathy formula. Also very effective there. Of course, ashwagandha, because we have to support the nervous system. Chandraprava, which is Chandra means cooling. This is particularly good for nerve pain when it's involving high blood sugar. Chandraprava is a cooling formula. Bramhi for the nerves. There's dashamula again. So this one doesn't have the analgesic herbs in it like the first one. So we just call it neuropathy formula. Well, the other one is nerve pain formula. This is mucuna seeds. This is used for Parkinson's and used for nerve pain. We have that in other forms too. We have it in nerve ghee. Yeah. So we call it kapikachu in Hindi. See, it says kapikachu. There we go. Kaunch. There we go. See, kapikachu or mucuna. People know it by mucuna, and it's got to be the seeds. See, for neuropathy, tremors, part weakness, and of course, Parkinson's. So if the person's very dry, we'd prefer to give them and there's tremors and we give them the nerve ghee. But sometimes when we give out the nerve pain formula or even the neuropathy formula here, we have them add ghee to it. Now there's many supporting formulas and herbs that can be taken. If there's like a headache, then of course we can give some relaxing tea for headaches made of the famous white willow bark, which is what aspirin was made for, feverfew, chamomile, skullcap, and licorice. So, it's a mild analgesic herbs and a mild sedative with the skullcap and the chamomile, and that helps with mostly nerve headaches. And of course, if you have a migraine headache where it's really burning, and we have this one, we have different headache formulas, but this one is for the hot frontal headache, basically migraines with inflammation and body heat. So it's a very cool. Good. It's got Shatavari, which is cooling, Guduchi Sattva, which is very cooling, Kamaduda Ras, which is Ayurvedic formula, it's cooling, and Shank Basma. This is a very cooling formula, and this is for somebody who has migraine burning headache. There's heat involved. We have another one that doesn't have the heat. If it's just a tension headache, often just the calming formula will work. There's the ashwagandha again, supporting the nervous system. Jatamansi, Shank Pushpi are the nervines. Brahmi is the premier herb for the mind and the nerves, and tagar is a sedative, calming the person down. You can also use Western herbs like passion flower, chamomile, lemon balm, and make a nerve type of tea, a relaxing tea. Other supportive products we have, if there's joint pain as well, we may give this one too, which has got more Yogaraj Gugulu. You can see from the first ingredient is Yogaraj Gugulu, which is used more for joint pain. But you notice it says joint pain and nerve pain and rheumatism. So if there's a lot of joint pain, we may give this plus something for the nerves. Maybe we take them together. So, we can combine these. Even if the person's very dry and weak, we have Vitality Ghee, which is basically ashwaganda ghee. So that can be combined. We also have Adrenal Formula, which is also supporting the nervous system. So all these are going to help the nerves. So you support the adrenals, provide non-stimulating energy, reduces anxiety. You got Vidari Khan, which is a potato. There's ashwagandha seeds first in all of these. There's bramhi again. And there's Tulsi, cinnamon, licorice, cumin, and ginger just to help you digest it. So these would be supportive. So the treatment would be the right diet, one of these formulas like for nerve pain or neuropathy or overall joint pain, plus an oil, one of the oils I would pick depending on the individual, and maybe one of the ghees as well. So there's no one herb, I'm going to improve their digestion. A lot of times I have to give herbs in the evening, just get the bowels moving and balance vata. Diet always has to change. Stimulants always have to go. And then I'll pick 2 or 3 of these products here, maybe 2 plus 1 oil. And that usually will take care of it. People are quite impressed that this nerve pain goes away quite quickly, is very treatable, but you have to do the work. You have to change the diet, and you have to take the herbs for a few weeks until they work. And then you have to keep taking them for a little while to keep it under control. And as long as you manage the proper diet and don't do the same things that caused the problem in the first place, you won't have to continue to take the herbs indefinitely. And it will get it under control in a relatively quick period of time. I have many testimonials of people who talk about their nerve pain and neuropathy and sciatic pain have been resolved. When we talk about, with these treatments, when we talk about sciatic pain, we're talking about pinched nerves. So we're talking about cartilage is depleted in between, the joints, particularly in the spinal column. And this is a type of depletion. As I said in the beginning, the main cause of nerve pain is depletion, lack of fat, lack of protein, having too much just lettuce, salad, smoothies, and not enough protein. And then you don't have a cartilage between the joints, and then they start pinching the joints. So you need to build. You don't detox your way out of nerve pain. You build your way out. You build more, put on more fat, more muscle to support the joints better so they're not pinching your own nerves. Otherwise, you have to go to a chiropractor regularly and do, decompression of the spinal column, which helps, of course, but, we really need to build the cartilage between the joints for sciatica. And that requires eating more protein, more fat. Bone broth is very good for building this cartilage. Fish oil is very good because in fish itself, fish has a lot of the anti-inflammatory oils and fat and protein to it. So generally a vegan diet or a low-fat diet, no meat, no dairy, it can contribute to these type of nerve conditions. So generally we have to put in some ghee, some butter, more protein, and build the person's muscles and fat to lubricate the cells, support the joints better, and avoid any pinching of nerves. And so this is, the type of treatment. So detoxing and fasting and juicing will generally make all nerve conditions worse. So that's an important point. And I think many people have tried detoxing, to support their nerve pain, and they found out this only makes it worse. So it's a building, strengthening, vata balancing treatment. So I hope that gave you hope. Hope you understand better how to treat and support your nervous system, and how to get off, having too many stimulants, chocolate, coffee, can contribute to the problem, and how being depleted by not eating much, skipping meals, and fasting and having low-fat diet also is contributing to this common problem. So feel free to contact me if you like more information or like me to evaluate your case. And of course, if you'd like me to treat you for your nerve pain and resolve the issue for you once and for all. Thank you very much once again, ladies and gentlemen. We look forward to hearing from you. And I sincerely hope that this knowledge and information that I've shared with you from my experience and my knowledge of Ayurveda has helped you to better understand how to treat and manage your nerve pain conditions. Thank you.